¿Dónde estamos, Brian?
Denver.
Muy bien.
All right, Brian, so what are we doing right now?
We are driving from Denver to Boulder, where we will be doing the Kimball Musk episode tomorrow. And man, what a beautiful drive.
Yeah.
It's just mountains everywhere.
Mountains.
I mean, this is about as picturesque of a drive as it gets.
Yeah.
There's Seth, shooting out in the middle of the road. Trying not to get hit. We like to live dangerously here on In Depth. We got back from the kitchen.
Very nice.
Very nice. Setup is looking good for tomorrow. All the shoot stuff is tomorrow. All the filming's tomorrow.
Windy enough for you?
Yeah.
Well, what are you looking forward to about talking with Kimball?
You know, he's been there every step of the way in the creation of Tesla and SpaceX, two of the most important companies in the 21st century. There's arguably not a couple of more influential companies than Tesla and SpaceX. And Kimball's on the board of Tesla, was until recently on the board of SpaceX, been very involved in both. And then he's used his investment and the success of that investment in those companies to start really interesting food companies. So just interesting guy, and fascinated by the story, as you can probably tell. And I'm looking forward to the day.
We're all set for the interview.
Carlos, you think you can strum that thing?
Nope, I don't play bass.
You strum bass guitars, idiot.
Brad, how you feeling right now? Carlos,
We're behind schedule.
how does that make you feel?
Anxious.
You don't look anxious at all.
I don't. Well, we're by the time, but we're supposed to start at 10:45. Oh wow! So by the time this actually starts, we will be probably 35 or 40 minutes behind. Not ideal. How much you can do?
Hey, nice to meet you. Thanks so much for doing this. By the way, I was talking to your mom, May, yesterday.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
She flew out to be on site
Yes.
for this
So
photo shoot, right?
this is actually great. So she thinks that I have a fake smile. I
So
do not
she was
think that
telling
I have
me.
a fake smile. And so she taught me how to have a smile. This was 3 hours of her work. And I was like, okay, that does look pretty good actually.
Tell about the firecrackers in the cigarettes.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I thought Graham did a beautiful job of digging in where, when you have that much time, digging in where it's a little bit more emotional, a little bit more thoughtful. It requires me to actually dig in a little bit, and it was nice. It was a refreshing experience.
Was it a good or bad sign you had to meditate after?
Right. I like to meditate, so after I did have an adrenaline crash, I was like, I'll go look after myself. Went upstairs, just chilled for 10 minutes, and came back ready to go.
Was there anything he asked you that surprised you or you weren't expecting?
There were a few questions that were pretty surprising. People had never asked before. Took me a little time to answer thoughtfully.
What do you want for the rest of your life?
Great question. Most people throw a 50th birthday party. I'm 51 now. I threw a halftime party because I'm about halfway through my life. But so I look forward to the second half of my life, and the second half is always more interesting than the first half, in any sports game. So I'm excited for the future.
Thank you very much.
That's great. Thank you.
It was a couple-hour interview, maybe 2 hours, 10 minutes, but
probably should have been a 3-hour interview because there was so much to talk to him about. So I'm beating myself up a little bit because I jumped around a little much, and there's stuff that I didn't let breathe as much as I would have liked it to. There's also stuff I wanted to cover that I didn't get to, that then you have to figure out how to kind of sprinkle it in throughout the day, which is fine. I mean, I guess you don't have a choice. I think one of the highlights of the day so far has been talking to him and his wife.
He asked me on our first date, he's like, okay, well, I've got to do the crazy check now that we're like in dating zone. It's like, okay, well, what's the crazy check? I'm ready. He's like, are you crazy? I was like, that's it. And I'm like, that's the crazy check. Like, how do you know? Like, how do I answer this correctly?
You know, it was neat. Both of them, especially Christiana, was willing to share some of her vulnerability. I think that's powerful.
I rolled up my sleeves and showed him that I have scars all over my body. I was a self-harmer for many years of my youth, and shared with him like that journey of PTSD and surviving that. Then I remember when I finished sharing my story with him, he was like, I think I might be a little crazy and I might need your help.
Running a little behind schedule.
A little behind schedule. Gotta make everything go quicker.
Are you recording me or are you recording the house?
I'm just getting the transition.
Really good.
That is a breakfast you never get tired of.
The other part is an interview similar to what we did with his wife, where it's going to be Graham, Kimball, and the head chef talking about the restaurant and things like that. So it's those two things.
What do you think about that plan, Carlos?
I'm not paying attention. No, that's right. I don't even know where we are.
All right, how about the park party?
Hey, Graham, we have 5 minutes of usable daylight.
Oh, okay, got it.
Oh, we should get to the food. I thought you would take the hint with all the food coming in.
Cheers. Thank you.
Graham had a marrow bone for the first time in his life yesterday.
Marrow bone?
Mm-hmm.
Bone marrow?
Mm-hmm.
Bone marrow. Okay. You're saying it weird.
I mean, can it be the same thing?
Bone marrow, that's how you say it.
Sorry, bone marrow.
Bone would be a type of bone, and bone marrow is what's in a bone.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's a really easy point to make.
Graham's a little hesitant. Bone marrow is very natural. You have bone marrow.
I do.
It's well prepared. It's delicious. Just enjoy
We
it.
are at Kimball's restaurant.
Exactly.
The food is all very good.
Bon appetit.